What's up guys, it's iCkEdMeL. I just figured while I was doing this other video, I might as well do a video here about something I wanted to talk to you about. I've been sober for a month. I've been practicing sobriety. I quit alcohol, or maybe you could say I'm taking a break from alcohol for a multitude of reasons. I think it's amazing. I think everybody should do it, take a break from alcohol. Alcohol is one of my vices. It's been one of my vices for a long time. And I just got sick and tired of like that feeling of being hungover, or that feeling of, you know, maybe somebody else can comment below and relate with me on this, but there'd be times where for no reason I would feel like just sad and depressed and tired and heavy and bloated. And ever since I stopped, I just feel a lot more confident. I feel more lightweight. I feel like I've slimmed down. The biggest change for me has been mental clarity. I don't feel foggy in my head. I feel very clear. I feel confident. One of the things that I've struggled with for many years, since probably 2010, is anxiety. Tons of anxiety. And what I noticed is that drinking alcohol, at the time of drinking, you feel like you don't really feel, it takes away the anxiety, it takes away the stressors, it takes, you know, going out and you can do social things and you feel okay. But then it's like the next day you feel like crap, and for some reason it's like when you're not drinking, your anxiety just rises up and you just feel like it makes an anxiety worse. Alcohol is a depressive, right? So like at the time you feel good, but then it's like once it wears off, the anxiety comes back. And another thing that alcohol did, and maybe some of you guys can relate with me, you know how people talk about nightcaps? Oh, I'm gonna drink and go to sleep. If I drink a little, if I take a shot or just one drink like a rum, I'll sleep good. But once you overindulge in alcohol, it actually doesn't help you sleep well. It actually interrupts your sleep because it actually interrupts REM sleep. REM sleep is like the deepest phase of sleep. That's where your body actually starts to recover, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. Alcohol, a lot of people don't know this, interrupts REM sleep. And not only that, personally, what I experienced when I would drink and then go to sleep, I would wake up, my heart was just racing, and it would interrupt my sleep. I'd be sweating. So another thing, another benefit that that I read up on is that your liver is regenerative, right? Am I saying that right? Taking a break from alcohol, try to take a couple of weeks, month. I think it could take up to 6 weeks, if I read that correctly, to start the healing process. Even your brain can start connecting back connections. And I just have to say that I feel like that's true. I feel like just so much more clear-headed. My body feels good. I still experience an anxiety sometimes because I don't believe that the anxiety started with alcohol, but I believe that alcohol did intensify it once it wore off. But I get over my anxiety a lot faster. You guys should try it out. I feel pretty damn good. So when I first stopped it, right, and I cut out the alcohol, man, the next day, or not even the next day, probably within the same day, maybe 8 hours after, 10 hours, 12 hours, I felt really tired. I felt sluggish. I had no energy. For like 2 or 3 days, I had a really rough time, man. It's almost like my body had some sort of dependency on it, or maybe even mentally I had some sort of dependency on it. Like as far as like, cause it was for me, it was like a stress reliever. And that's why exercising and working out is so important for me, because that's the only other stress reliever that I can think of besides alcohol, you know? So I have to exercise, I have to work out. I struggled for 2 or 3 days after. And another thing that I experienced, which I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but I looked up online and a lot of other people said this, is that once I quit the alcohol, I had a huge carb craving, sugar craving, candy, carbs, pizza, all this junk food. I'm actually still going through it. And I think it's because my body's looking for that comfort feeling, that now I cut out the alcohol, it doesn't have that comfort feeling. It's looking for that feel good feeling. So when you eat food, like junk food, or like, you know, really pizza, chips, candy, it releases like dopamine, a feel good feeling. So I think your body starts to kind of supplement that for when you don't have the alcohol. What I did was I started slowly weaning myself off of carbs and candy. I'm still, like, I had pizza yesterday, but I had 1 slice. It's really tough, but I have been able to maintain my weight. When I was in keto, when I wasn't eating all the sugar, I was still drinking alcohol, I dropped to 203. Once I quit the alcohol and I started eating really bad, I increased to like 212. Now that I started weaning myself off, I'm back to 207. So my ultimate goal is to get to 200. When I reach 200 pounds, I'm gonna make a video. Celebratory video to hopefully motivate some people. Definitely quitting the alcohol and taking a break and just getting back to myself and having that mental clarity is so worth it, and I encourage encourage you guys to try it out. And I've read a lot of stories of people that have struggled with alcohol, and you can do it, man. You can do it. I believe that you can. But if you have a real alcohol dependency, like you're an alcoholic, you might not be able to cold turkey it. See, I just cold turkey and I just cut it off. But if you have like a real dependency, you might have to start weaning yourself off. And I think that's with like everything in life. Like a lot of people too, they ask me how I lost weight and how did I do it. I cut a lot of carbs out, but I started eating carbs recently, but I still haven't gained the weight. I used to weigh 287 and I haven't gained that weight back. And the way I did it is I slowly started weaning myself off, and I stopped drinking juices and soda. I occasionally might have a drink now, but it's not like before when I was drinking it all the time. You have to wean yourself off. It's just like in life with like short-term goals and long-term goals. It's good to have both, but if you're only focused on long-term and you're not thinking about the short-term, it's gonna be hard, because once you're not making achievements and you don't see that long term, you're gonna give up on your short term. But what I didn't realize a lot of the time is that you have to make the short term goals that are gonna get you to the long term goals. You know what I'm saying? So like, for example, with YouTube, I had a goal of 50 subscribers, a goal of 100 subscribers, and I would celebrate each of those goals. And of course I had a longer term goal, but you have to have your short term goals to keep encouraging yourself to keep going. Like right now, my goal is 700 subscribers. I really wanna get to 1,000, and eventually I wanna get to more, but right now my short term is 700, and then I wanna get to 1,000. So, and I believe that anybody can do it with whatever struggle you're going through, because I had other struggles, I had other vices in my life that I've overcome, and I think I've overcome them with the help of God and just discipline and motivation. Thank you guys. I hope you have a great day. Peace. Peace, love, prosperity. Subscribe. All right, guys.